Symmetry miracle in the Quran. Instead of random shapes, the universe encompasses a symmetric design which has been etched into every living being's theme. There is a symmetry in circles, in rectangles, in all the planets, galaxies, in the structure of stars, in all leaves, in plant structures, in branching structures, in the faces and bodies of all humans and in animals, in all molecular structures, in snow crystals, etc. Symmetry is the analogous structures that are formed within a certain order, giving similar looks to each other. It is one of the important signs which show that it is not coincidence which causes every piece in the universe to be in motion, and that there is a magnificent order which creates the universe, and that nothing is shaped in a haphazard manner. It is very meaningful that the symmetry seen in the whole universe is also seen in the mathematical structure of the Quran, which is one of the most important works of the Creator. And enough are we to take account. Al-Anbiya, verse 47. Allah has revealed the most beautiful message in the form of a book consistent with itself, yet repeating. Az-Zumar, verse 23. The wisdom of the expressions in the verses which talk about doubles, twins, and repeating statements have always been a matter of curiosity. The research completed has shown that in our day, the verses and the order numbers of the surahs or chapters have shown us an extraordinary symmetry. Every surah in the Quran has different values. For example, the Surah of Al-Fatiha has order number 1 and it has 7 verses. What we are trying to express here is that the Surah of Al-Fatiha is in the odd times odd portion. The Surah of Al-Araf, number of verses 206, even number. Order number 7, odd number. In this case, the Surah of Al-Araf would be in the odd times even portion in our chart. Hence, in our chart, we are able to show all the possibilities when we group them to 4 parts with odd, odd, even, even, odd, even, even, odd. In the group of surahs with odd order number and odd verse numbers, the group of chapters with even order numbers and then odd numbers of verses will give a symmetric look with 27 surahs. There are 30 chapters or surahs with an even order number and even number of verses. In a similar manner, there are again 30 chapters that have an odd order number and even number of verses. From this point of view, the chapters will have a symmetric look with 27 number of chapters with the same order number and verse numbers. The chapters with the verse numbers being greater than order numbers will have a symmetric look when they are grouped to odd and even. This rule is perfectly followed by a group of chapters with a number of verses that are less than their order numbers. The Surah of Al-Fatiha is in the first order and it has 7 verses. The total sum of its mathematical value is 1 plus 7, which is 8. The number of chapters in the Quran with an even mathematical value sum is 6,236. Equivalent surahs from 1 to 114 have their order number sums and their mathematical value sums seen in the odd number chapters. These two groups have the value of 6,555. The chances of these two possibilities occurring are 1 in 100 million. But this symmetry in the Quran, along with its mathematical design, is not limited to only this. There are hundreds of more instances that hide a sophisticated symmetrical that the human mind cannot comprehend. We again see a symmetry when we order the longest 57 chapters along with the remaining 57 as odd or even. There are many types of symmetric designs in the Quran. Some of them, according to their subject names, are prime numbers, numbers divisible by 3 but not divisible by 2, sum of prime factorials, perfect numbers, rich numbers, limited numbers, and many more. If you want to look over all these explanations, proofs and figures related to the topic, then please read the book Kur'an-ı Kerim, Symmetri Kitap, written by Associate Professor Dr. Halis Aydemir and published by Gizemler Publishing House. When we think about the order numbers and the verse numbers together, there will be two numerical sequences with 114 numbers each. Hence, the Quran is founded upon this numerical structure. Does this structure, which we are talking about, have a disordered makeup, or is it a structured system? It is possible to research the fact that it is in fact a structured system. This is because the qualities of the numbers and their types are described in the science of mathematics. For example, the first thing that comes into mind is grouping the numbers as odd or even, or grouping them as prime numbers and compounded numbers. When we look at these numbers in the Quran, we will see a structure that will dazzle the minds. This structure shows itself in a double symmetrical sequence. This structure can also be seen in odd and even numbers, in scarce numbers, in rich and perfect numbers, along with similar headings. This situation is not only something that we can see, but it is also a clear and net result that others can also test and see. For a mathematician to think that this structure is made randomly would be an exercise in futility. It is a scientific necessity to accept the fact that there is an ordering hand. Is this the hand of humanity, or is it a divine hand? Those who think that this is the hand of man should get help from computers in our day, where mathematics is so advanced, and they should try to create alternative numerical sequences which will give similar symmetric results. Otherwise, their objections will not have any validity from the scientific point of view. Moreover, many of these criteria are mathematical definitions which have been recently shaped in the modern era. It is also useful to add this as well. The Quran itself also gives the information away in a manner that is not very hidden, that it has a magnificent structure. It is God, Allah, who has created the best of words and brought it down as dual symmetric book.